Hey guys, you might have heard that there is a bug circling around on summons again somehow, and I figured I would go over the response that we've got from the developers and also kind of explain what it was. So that's kind of all this video is for. So for those of you who don't know what's happening, ancient summons are currently a little bugged for a handful of people, and essentially what would happen is you would pull, you would get to your Lord Pity. When you hit that Lord Pity, it would not summon a Lord, and it would cause some issues. You'd go over. There was a guy who got 300 ancient summons with no Lord, and lots of people have been talking about it. So I do have a little bit of some information for you guys. First of all, here's the video that shared it first by Haha. Big shout out to him, of course. He basically goes through this. You're going to see there's a couple legendaries, but ancient summons in this game have a Lord Pity, and there is no Lord in this video at all. And it's 300 total ancients. That is a big deal. And for it to happen on an account that is clearly a massive spender is a big deal. You never want to touch ancients in this game because they're so expensive that any issues with it, here I should probably like the video, any issues with it is an issue. So they have responded to Haha about this, and I have that right here. So this is the response from the dev contact. Let me read it for you guys and then give my thoughts quickly, and then that'll be it. Devs have already noticed your video about it. After we checked, it is a bug. We're sorry for any inconvenience. Recently, and then here's the explanation of what happened. During the implementation of the pity system optimization, from removing it from 220 to 200, there was a bug for a couple accounts, where specifically in the current ancient summoning pool, players who had reached a pity count of 197 or higher in the previous pool and still hadn't summoned an ancient hero encountered an issue. When participating in the current ancient summoning pool, they were unable to summon an ancient hero in the first 200 pulls as the pity system failed to trigger. Additionally, even after 200 pulls, it became impossible to summon an ancient hero. The root cause of this issue lies in a configuration error where the probability of summoning an ancient hero after 197 pulls was not properly set to 100%. This issue is limited to the global servers in the European and American regions, so nothing outside of that. And we kindly ask if you could take down any videos or at least update the pinned comment. That's what they say for everything, so that's a pretty basic response there. Thanks for understanding and support. And then additionally, even beyond 200 pulls, it was impossible to summon an ancient hero is a little bit of a scary sentence there. Hopefully it gets fixed soon, but that is kind of the reason. So originally I thought it might have been Elysia counted as a lord, which turns out is wrong. Just because in this video, Elysia gets summoned a little bit near the end. That ended up not being the case. Purely just a bug. And while the divine issue that was going on for a long time, completely understandable if you thought that was not a bug, that was intentional. There's definitely a case for that. But I think for this one, it has to be a bug. I think it's impossible it's anything else. And for compensation, apparently this issue only affected 10 accounts. So it's highly unlikely we get any sort of solid compensation for this, which I don't think we need to, because it did only affect a couple people. Because to put it into perspective a little bit here, you had to, at the time of the pity swap, which is like less than even a month ago, there's been 2, maybe 3 banners, ancient banners for it, and it's been like what, a Raka Luguru and normal ancient summoning. The likelihood of you having this happen, being like almost 200 into pity on ancients before the switch, and then proceeding to summon afterwards on these terrible ass banners when we know what's coming later, it's very unlikely, so it has not affected that many people. But this does not mean that I don't want there to be compensation, of course. But what I want to see happen is, for example, for that guy that did 300 ancients and got no lord at all, what I want to see is I want to see him get like 100 ancients. You know, as a player base, if this did not affect you, which it didn't for 99% of you, I'm just gonna say 100 gems is enough, at least for me. Obviously, everyone's gonna have a different perspectives, but the people that really had this affected to them, where they just straight up couldn't get any legendary heroes, because that's what it says in this message, they really need to give them like as many ancients as they spent in the meantime. Sure, they're getting some diamonds, but from the rares or whatever. But legendary heroes is the only reason why you would ever, summon ancients. And realistically, the ancients should be given back. So that's all I want to see personally. Obviously, we'll have different perspectives. I suspect they're just going to track down the accounts that this happened to, give them a bit of comp, and we all move on with our day. I know people, want to demand more compensation, and I understand why. But also, I think that's kind of unnecessary, because realistically, we ain't getting more, and I don't think we should ask for more, because like, it doesn't affect 99.99999% of the player base for obvious reasons. So it will most likely be fixed before Praetus Manor. All of that stuff, I know I'm not making a big deal out of this. This is obviously a big issue, but it seems like they're fixing it. If it doesn't get fixed soon, I'll make a big deal about it. Otherwise, it is a bug that happened to a couple people. It sucks, and I don't know why there's no quality checking in this game. Like, how was this not checked? How was the pity in this game on the pity change update not fully tested? Because when you think about it, if you're gonna freaking change the pity from 220 down to 200, you might as well check if it's gonna cause issues, because it's not that hard, and somehow it gets messed up. It's so weird. I don't even know. It's just like, we need more quality control for this game. There's so many things. Boreas being too strong wouldn't have happened. Ingrid being too strong wouldn't have happened. A ton of the bugs in this game wouldn't happen. Moonton, please expand your freaking quality checking department. Not that hard. Spend a little extra on labor or something so that you don't keep having these issues. Because eventually, if this is a bug, like an unintended bug, which I think it is, eventually people are going to get fed up, and it's going to cost a lot more than just hiring a couple more people or caring a little bit more about the updates you put out. That's my message here. That's what I get from this whole thing. It sucks. If you had this issue, I would talk to like customer service, even though they're not the most helpful. It is still worth checking. And yeah, there's the explanation. Not the biggest deal. If you had that specific thing happen, don't summon for a little while until the next update to see if that gets bug fixed. And you shouldn't be summoning ancients. There's your information. Thanks for watching, and that's it from me, Destined, signing out.